I've been leveling up a Troubadour, making riffs for their abilities, and then making a song out of those riffs. This is the 3rd level video in the series, so let's see what they get. Okay, at 3rd level, we're a virtuoso. We get a class act feature called Second Album. We get 2 performances. One of them's called Fire Up the Night. The other's called Never Ending Hero. Fire Up the Night lets our allies find enemies with concealment easier and hit them without Bane. Never Ending Hero allows allies who are dying in the area to have an edge on power rolls and ignore effects of bleeding. I'm going to rename both of these abilities to be a little more metal, more on theme for our character. Since Fire Up the Night allows our allies to find enemies easier, I'm going to call this Follow the Blood. That's a song by Cannibal Corpse. Let's go ahead and make a riff for this one. I'm playing my Schecter C1 and I'm in standard tuning. Okay, I like that riff. The next one we have is Never Ending Hero. You can change the name for this one too. It gives our allies edge on power rolls and lets them ignore bleeding. So they're ignoring pain and fighting even harder while they're dying. I'm going to call this ability Bite the Pain. That's a song by Death. Let's do a riff for this. All right, that sounded good to me. So those are our last act features. We have a 7 drama ability. Extensive Rewrites lets you move enemies around. One of those 4th wall breaking abilities that Troubadours can get. This next one, it's AoE fire damage and allies can move a bit. Star Solo deals damage and pushes enemies. Effect, you can choose to have this ability deal sonic damage. Additionally, you can choose this ability against the same target for the next 2 combat rounds without spending drama. We meet at last. Pick a foe on the battlefield to be kind of your arch enemy, and you can use your abilities on each other, ignoring the distance. And then you can also use a free maneuver to give the target 2 surges or to take a bane. So I think Extensive Rewrite is the most interesting one here. It's a little different than the other abilities I've taken so far in this character, but I want to reflavor this. So if we're compelling people to move, maybe we can reflavor it as like a ghost possession or demon possession. We could call this ability By Demons Be Driven. That's a Pantera song. So let's go ahead and make a riff for this. right, that seems good to me for By Demons Be Driven. So we did 3 riffs. I didn't do riffs for the free strikes on the first video. Maybe I can do one of those. So do the melee free strike and change the name of it to thrash. Let's make a riff for this one. All right, that's a really thrashy riff for our thrash free strike. I think that's all for the riffs. I'm going to take all those riffs and put them into a song.